What's up, guys? Welcome back to Planet Zoo, and welcome back to our reptile house slash cafe. So off camera, as you can see, I've done a lot of work. um, it was a lot of tedious stuff that I just didn't think you guys would really be interested in watching me do. So, a quick overview of what I did. Remember our, where are they? Now I lost track. Baseboards. I ended up changing them to this stone piece, and I used it all the way around on everything. The reason why I did that was because it's flat and because it works on a grid. So the fact that it works on a grid means all I gotta do is place one, and then boom, 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 boom. It's just basically point and click. I don't have to screw around with trying to finesse anything into place. And as you can see, I went around, I did all the exhibits, as well as go all the way around everything else. And why is that's still clipping through over there and there? I might have to bring those guys. You probably saw this in the video when it was in music mode when I wasn't talking. But what I was trying to do is cover up this, where you can see right through the exhibit and the wall. And apparently I missed this one. So we're just going to fix this right quick. Let's see, right about there looks good. And this side needs help too. And right about there. Alright. So I did the exhibits. Does that one see through too? How did I miss this stuff? I could have swore, guys, that I went through and double checked all of this. Maybe I was just in a rush, maybe I was tired. I know when I record these videos, I'm usually doing it after working a full 10-hour day. Yes, I am working during the whole pandemic thing. I do work armed security for a bank, and since banks are considered essential personnel, I have to work because the banks consider security essential personnel. So I am thankful for that small blessing. I know a lot of people are hurting right now, and I really, really pray that you guys get some relief soon. I hope this pandemic ends soon, and we can get back to our usual arguing politics and other stupid things. But anyways, um, back on track. I went through around everything, and I used a stone piece. I did this one in the middle as well, and I even did these guys up here. So the stone piece I used, just so you guys know what I used, is we come over here to architecture, there we go. Come over here to walls, we pick the wall pieces, come over here, type in stone, come down to our castle area, and it's this very last piece, this dry stone wall top. Can we get, there we go, some better lighting. And what I did with this was I pressed shift and I brought it down to the level that I wanted the original stone at, let go of shift, and it stays there in place, and then I can just move it wherever I wanted to set the grid piece for this. Now I had to do that process several times because if I put it on the grid of the main building, it would want to sit right on top of this wall and we wouldn't see the baseboard itself. So I essentially had to create a whole bunch of different groups. As you can see here, there's that grouping. I come over here, here's that grouping. Really every single horizontal and vertical area had to be its own grouping, which kind of sucked. um, this wall here, I was able to group all of them because they were all on the same line, I guess you can call it. So I was able to do that. I think I was able to do these. Yep, was able to do those. So I did find some shortcuts where I could to make that process a little bit quicker and easier and save me from getting carpal tunnel. um, from there, once I finished all that, I decided, we definitely need a railing up here and a railing going up the stairs. So I just used the in-game railing built into the path system. For that, we go into paths, we select the path that we're using, and each one of these paths have different railings. So screw around with them, see what you like. But from there, we come over to the gears or the settings, and we just find what we want right down here. So here, I had railing on elevated. Railing on elevated. I don't know why I said it so stupid like that. So I just clicked that. I'm going to unclick it right now because I don't need it. So I did that, and then I just hovered over and clicked each square of my pathing up here along the edge, and it just threw in this railing. And what's smart about that is by doing this, you save on piece count. You can do custom railings, but the custom railings, they're smaller than 4 meters. So you're going to have to put in a whole lot of pieces to go around something like this and to come down your stairs as well. By all means, I mean, if you download this building for your own park and you want to put in custom railings, by all means, put in custom railings and tag me because I want to see what you guys do with this building. I mean, I'm going to try to deck it out really nice to where you shouldn't have to do much of anything. But the best part about taking stuff from the workshop is that you can modify it to suit your own needs. So if you do use it, whether you keep it whole or whether you change it, I would love to see it utilized in your own parks. I'd love to see what you do with it. So please, please tag me on it. I'd love to see you see what you do with it. Next, what did I do after that? I forget what I did after that. Oh, next, I went through and as you can probably tell, I added a roof up here. I was going to start with this awning coming out here. I changed my mind. I also deleted the pathing on both sides here because it didn't seem right. Um, I just wasn't getting a good vibe from it, so I got rid of it. For these guys, I did squish the two on the side down to where they're only 8 meters wide. And then I extended them out to where I had one square here, one square here, and then I brought them over to where there's one square here, which gives us some room between this massive thing and this to kind of mess with. And I did that on both sides because I want those two sides to match a little bit. Originally, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to make one side kind of hard-edged like this and the other one curved. But again, looking at it from a distance, I was like, no. So I just made them the same. From there, I moved our picnic benches. That way the picnic benches were underneath this. I figured that'd be a nice natural lighting for picnicking. And also moved the waste bins. Geez, sorry. To be closer in, that way the guests can walk around. Just like in Planet Zoo, waste bins have like this invisible barrier around them where guests won't walk through the waste bins. So I didn't want to have those waste bins out here in the middle of nowhere and having guests trying to walk around the waste bins while not disturbing the people who are trying to eat. So I put them there, and it works. I may move them. I don't know. So what else did I do? I think that's all I did off camera. Well, I mean, we can talk about these glass pieces. Um, this took a while because I just wasn't sure what pieces I wanted to use. I literally went through like every single piece before I was able to make up my mind. I wanted something that I can paint, so that was a huge thing for me. And the same thing up here. And I got a little frustrated because, as you can see, everything on this one matches, but the game doesn't give us this piece to match these pieces. So it doesn't have those lines coming down. And I just got frustrated. I was so mad. But I actually kind of like it now. And the reason why I like it is, like, from this angle, it kind of looks like this piece is angled in instead of being straight up and down. And it is actually straight up and down, I promise you. So I like the optical illusion that it creates. Even from, down here, it looks like this top end is pushed out a little bit from certain angles, like this one here. And I like it. I like it. Having these pieces here clear helps create that optical illusion. So I'm rather pleased with that. The other thing I was thinking about doing, that's actually where I stopped, guys. So now you're all caught up with what I did. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change all of these habitat colors to this brown because I'm looking at it and it's a little too colorful for what we're doing. I want it to be more muted colors. I like the idea at first, but it's just too much. I think I'll just leave the information, the education boards, the colored ones. That way you can still see some distinction between each exhibit without the whole exhibit looking gaudy. I mean, that's the best way I can describe, especially like this yellow and this red. It's just gaudy. The green's pretty loud too. It's not as loud, but it is pretty loud. And what the heck is up with this? Jiminy Christmas, I just can't get right. Every time I look at something, oops, every time I look at something, I see something else that needs to be changed. And I mean, that's a good thing if you're doing that, if you're constantly changing and perfecting your build, because that means you care about the build. Um, and that's something we don't see too often in a lot of builds is people just throw stuff together because they don't want to take the time to make it look good. And I urge all of you, take the time to make it look good. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should look good. And I lied. That's not where I stopped. I actually dug out the pit for the water feature. So, in this video, we're going to change all of these to that beautiful brown, and we're going to add supports because we do want some realism. Having this thing just floating up here is kind of stupid. So we're going to add some supports. I'm thinking we're going to do corner, corner, one here, match it on the other side, and then we're going to do the inside as well. We'll do one here, there, and there. Like I said, just for some realism, it's just having it hanging out there looks cheesy. So, we're going to start with coloring all these things. This should not take very long at all. It's just coming over here, picking my color, apply. come to the next one. So we are going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to put on music for you guys or if I'm just going to ramble a little bit. Um, I can tell you here, actually that's what I'll do. I'll talk about kind of what's going on in my state with this whole pandemic thing, and maybe you guys would mind sharing what's going on in your neck of the woods. If you're here in the States or if you're in a different country, I would sure like to hear how you guys are handling things. So here in Colorado, our governor, Jared Polis, put us on the stay-at-home order. A lot of businesses have shut their doors, um, either permanently or temporarily. Nobody really knows for sure at this point. A lot of people were laid off or flat out fired, and I think that's a common theme all over the country right now. And like I said, I'm thankful I was not one of them. Um, I that's a blessing that I will always be thankful for. But here in Colorado, the people seem to be thinking a little bit differently um, than most other states that I've seen, at least in the news. At first, everybody was pretty much abiding by the stay-at-home order, and as the last 2 weeks have gone on, I have seen more and more people going back out. I've seen more and more cars on the street. So it seems like things are getting a little bit better, at least here in Colorado. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not a medical expert. I don't work in that field. But it would appear things are getting a little bit better here. I know our governor is kind of upset um, that a lot of people were not abiding by that, especially in my city. But the thing he doesn't understand is in my city, we have 5 military bases, including NORAD. So we have a lot of essential personnel that are needed to keep this country's defense in tip-top shape. And he just doesn't seem to understand that that's the reason why so many people in Colorado Springs kind of told him to go kick rocks. um, that and a lot of people have the attitude that I have when these stay-at-home orders came out was, unless you're going to pay my bills, I'm going to go to work. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not sick, if I'm not showing any signs of this virus, I'm going to work. Uh, I'm not going to stay home because you want me to. I, it's just not in my DNA to sit at home and collect unemployment checks. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It goes against the very fiber of my being. So thankfully I didn't have to make that choice due to what I do. So there we have it. All right, guys. So as you saw, that was really quick. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is making these 1 meter high instead of having them 2 meter high. So I'm going to give it a go just to see if it really makes any kind of difference that's worthwhile. It may not. I have no idea. And I can say I kind of like the 1 meter already. I do. I like that a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and fix all of these. And I think for this, it's going to take a little bit longer, so I am going to shut up, throw on some music for you guys while we fix this up. All right, guys. So got that done, and that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Um, should we do the water feature? How long have I been recording? I don't know. Um, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do the water feature as well. And the main reason is because the roof is going to be a pain in the butt to try to figure out. I still have no clue what I'm going to do for this, um, which is bad. I really have no clue. Um, so we're going to do the water feature, and then I think off camera I'm going to go ahead and do the roof and possibly the ceiling, and then I don't know, because the way I'm seeing this working out is I'm going to have a roof that's going to cover a lot of different stuff. So the roof is going to be kind of a facade in many places, but I'm also thinking I'm going to have an actual ceiling on the inside because I don't want this huge, giant, tall roof everywhere. So what I'm thinking, actually, you know what? We'll just talk about that later. Let's get on down here. Oh, supports. We need to add supports. So, let's just click the building. That way all of this is connected. Um, supports. I want them to be wood. And I know which ones I want. And they're all the way near the bottom. I think, yeah. It was these guys here. Yeah, they were. All right, so we're going to take these big mama jumbas, and we're just going to put this guy in there just enough to where he's not clipping through. So something like that. Um, and we're going to, do I want to put two there? That might be a little excessive, huh? I don't know. Either way, this guy is what we are going to use to keep on a straight plane here. We may get rid of these, or maybe not. It doesn't look too bad. And then we're just going to take him out to there. Um, I could do here instead of doing these four corners, which would make sense, sort of. Nah, I'm going to keep with my original plan for the time being. If it turns out I don't like it, I can change it, right? That's the best part about all this. So we can change anything we don't like. Oh, really? Is that how it's going to show up like that? I hope not. It might just be because we're editing the building. Um, we'll find out. Oh, I need to do the middle ones. So something like right there, and then something like right there. And that actually works out really well if I line them up. If I try to get the middle lined up with the middle of this banister railing, banister support, that actually works out really well. I'm going to have to check the other side to make sure I did that. So I'm wondering if I need to come in further. I don't think so. I think we're going to be okay just like that. Then we were going to come in and do these inside corners. And I'm thinking something like that looks pretty good. Again, it's just so we're um, not having this thing look like it's floating in space. We want a little bit of realism. I definitely, I mean, you're obviously never going to see a zoo with something like this in it, so this is definitely a fantasy type build, but we still want a little bit of realism inside of it as we do it. So that's what we're doing, and I think that looks pretty dang well supported. I mean, I've seen some structures in real life that don't look nearly as supported as this does. So we are going to take that and we're going to exit out of here. Yes, cool. So I don't get that weird square cut through look. Cool, 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 cool. And I really do like that. And we can even put on some lighting bits in there. Yeah. So now we got to kind of visualize how we want this water feature to look. How do we want it to flow? And I am missing, how did that happen? Clearly I wasn't, what the heck? Clearly I wasn't paying attention. Get to talking and I don't pay attention to what I'm actually doing. Such is the life of creating videos. That actually looks pretty good right there. So anyways, as I was saying beforehand, we want to kind of visualize how we want this water feature to work. Also, do we want to cover this roof or should it stay like that? That's another thing we need to consider. I mean, it'll be easy to cover this roof um, to make this ceiling like a wood paneled ceiling. Well, I shouldn't say it'd be easy. It'll be kind of tedious, but you can do it. If I decide to do it, I'll do it off camera just because I have a feeling that's going to be kind of frustrating to do, at least at first. Once I get the pattern flowing, then it'll be a lot easier. So, how do we want this to look? Two of my designs that I'm thinking, we're definitely going to do rocks, we're going to do plants, that's a given. But I was thinking one of my design thoughts was put rock going all the way up, have it kind of sloping down, and have a waterfall coming down this way. And the same thing here. Have rock basically all the way up here, coming all the way up to the path here, and right about here have it sloping down and create a little waterfall. Um, and then maybe doing like a little water jet or a couple water jets right in the middle. Maybe put a statue of a critter in the middle there. Um, the other one, I'm not sold on that design 100%. The other thought I had was do rocks and stuff all the way around, rocks and plants, all the way around, have a statue kind of in this quadrant, and then have another one over here, and then having the waterfall come from the center area here. That way it would look like the water could be, piped up through these supports and then just falling down. That idea was actually inspired by a real life design I saw during a parade of homes. I went into this house where they had this, it was really cool. It was a water feature in the kitchen. It separated the kitchen from the dining room. So they had a counter and then they had their wall that comes all the way up to the roof, and there's a cutout in that wall that water just fell like a waterfall. And they even had a little backing they had a backing kind of like these on that waterfall, so the water basically dribbled down and bounced around and whatnot. It was amazing, guys. I saw that and I was like, I need that. When I have my own house, I'm going to make one of those because it was so cool. And I love the sound of a waterfall, especially inside the home when it's just that soft bit of water just dancing along rocks and stuff. Oh, I love it. It puts me right to sleep. But anyways, so now you have an idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and build this water feature, and I may or may not start the roof. Actually, I'll probably do part of the roof. That way you guys have an idea of what I'm going to do. But I don't think I can hold your interest long enough to show all of this on camera. So I'm going to cut the video there, guys. And in the next video, I will update you with the finished product of this and possibly the roof or some of the roof. So, thanks for watching, guys. As always, be safe, be cool, and have fun. We'll catch you next time.